Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome and consider subscribing to my channel by clicking the bell notification below. We live in the era of the supercar, with new models coming year after year with the highest specifications and plenty of other high-tech features that would make even James Bond envious. A classic car, on the other hand, has an undeniable beauty and a cool factor. Whether you consider yourself a die-hard gearhead or are just a lover of vintage design, these are some of the best classic cars in the world for your viewing pleasure. In this video, we are going to take a look at top 10 classic cars in the world. Are you curious? Then sit back, relax, and watch the whole video. Let's start. Number 10. Aston Martin DB5. If you're a fan of James Bond, you'll appreciate how beautiful this ride is. It has been featured in more Bond films than any other car. And if it's pretty enough for James Bond, it's pretty enough for the rest of us. The quintessential British Grand Tourer, it's no surprise that it was James Bond's favorite car. The DB5 was the final version of the DB4 series. Because of its starring role in several 007 films, it is recognized as the most popular car in the world. The DB5 wasn't exactly a sports car, with its 4.0-liter inline 6-cylinder engine. It was more of a luxurious 2+2 with standard features such as wool-piled carpets and electric windows, considering its top speed of 144 miles per hour. Number 9. Chevrolet Corvette. It's impossible to discuss the best classic cars of all time without considering the Chevrolet Corvette. Chevrolet's Corvette had a crucial year in 1963. Chevrolet added amazing wheels, the 396 big block V8, and then in 1966 the 427, 430 HP L88 model, which is now one of the most sought after antique Corvettes. The C2 series was completed in 1967, and it featured 5-slot fender vents, the renowned 1967 hood scoop, and a new color Stinger stripe. The 1967 model, which had been cleaned up, was a good fit for the C2 series. It is worth between $37,700 US and $124,000 US. Number 8. Mercedes SL300 Gullwing. The Mercedes SL300 Gullwing, one of the first post-war sports cars, was the fastest production car of its time when it was launched in 1954. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SL is known for its classic gullwing doors, which mimic a bird in flight. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SL was the first customer car to include direct injection and was the fastest production vehicle of its time, with a top speed of 161 miles per hour. The price ranges between $1 million and $1,450,000. This classic piece of art is one of the finest classic cars we've ever seen. Number 7. Shelby GT350 1965. This high-performance successor to the Ford Mustang of the United States, also known as the Cobra, was a popular vehicle in the 1960s. The Shelby GT350 was a real racing car, thanks to Ford's V8 engine. It springs and rumbles as you press the gas pedal. You'll soon understand why Carroll Shelby is known as a motoring master. The Shelby GT350 is still an iconic performance machine, easily distinguishable from other Mustangs thanks to its ability. It cost between $250,000 US and $500,000 US. Number 6. Lamborghini Miura. Lamborghini set the benchmark for supercars all over the world, literally. The Miura was the first race car to have a mid-engine rear layout, which is the same arrangement as in all racing cars today. It was the flagship of the Lamborghini brand, and it remained in production until 1973. And when it comes to high performance and high profile cars, it's clearly one of the best. Considered to be the most glamorous car ever made, Miura debuted in 1966 as a sleek mid-engine speedster designed to challenge Ferrari. Piloting the Miura transcends driving experience to become a life experience, says Hegarty. If the sound of 6 carburetors feeding a thirsty, vibrating V12 moored right behind your head isn't enough, it's probably the most beautiful car you've ever made. Number 5. Ferrari 250 GTO. Between 1962 and 1964, Ferrari made just 39 of these elegant racing cars, so they are extremely rare. The 250 GTO is potentially the holy grail in terms of value and recognition. But the fact is that only a handful of people in the world will ever have the chance to legally drive one, says Haggerty. An early model won $38 million at the Bonham Square Lodge auction at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance 2 years ago. If that's too costly, know that any 1960s prancing horse with a V12 engine is worth mentioning. Ferrari doesn't need any introduction, and one of our top 10 just had to be the Ferrari 250 GTO V12 300 bhp, the most expensive car ever sold at the auction, with one going just under £28,850,000 back in 2014. This legendary beauty spawned every other Ferrari after it, and inspired all the competition in the past. Number 4. BMW 3.0 CSL. If some part of you has a racing track fantasy, that's the car you're going to track down. When BMW came to America in 1975, it brought with it a quartet of models, including the 3.0 CSL Coupe. Driven by racing legends Brian Redman, Sam Posey, and Hans Stuck, the car claimed victory at the 12 Hours of Sebring that year and won Daytona the following year. A pair of triumphs established BMW's performance chops on the state side. In addition to its engineering and performance heritage, 3.0 CSL has pioneered a range of innovations found in later BMW models, from its first 4-valve 6-cylinder engine to its early anti-lock braking system. Number 3. Rolls-Royce Dawn Drophead. The Rolls-Royce Dawn Drophead of 1949 had a minimal lifespan of just 5 years, which may be one reason why its elegance never faded. Its concept was based on the first Rolls-Royce car produced after the war, and its name was meant to announce Rolls-Royce's place in the new dawn, or rather the modern era in the world. The name was supposed to mark the beginning of a new age for the world, and Rolls-Royces in it. Slightly smaller than pre-war's cars, the Dawn helped the British bespoke car maker reintroduce motor craftsmanship while taking the firm into modern times. They are exceedingly rare. Only 3 of the original 28 Dropheads remain in the US, and they are owned by private collectors. Number 2. Porsche 911. The Porsche 911 represents vintage driving at its best, particularly during the golden era before the car was redesigned in 1974. The magic of the early 911 is here, Haggerty says. It's a beautifully well-designed vehicle that offers one of the most honest driving experiences of any sports car ever built. Back in 1965, there was a Porsche 911 for those who wanted to drive slowly. It was called a 912 and shared the same simple 4-cylinder engine as the previous 356, not the Beetle as some would say, with a top speed of 116 miles per hour. The first 911 started with a 2.0 engine, air-cooled and rear-mounted, of course, with just 130 bhp. It was a long way from today's current 911 turbos with 500 plus bhp. Even the 911 had almost 50% more power than the Ford 356 flats, so strong for the time being. Number 1. Jaguar E-Type. The most beautiful car ever made. The Jaguar E-Type is number 1 in our top 10 classic cars of all time. If someone like Enzo Ferrari introduces a car as the most beautiful car ever made, you can be sure that there would be no two opinions about it. The Jaguar E-Type was modeled after its predecessor and 3-time Le Mans winner, the D-Type, taking its style to a whole new level. It was quicker than the Ferrari at just a fraction of the price, and it was in production from 1961 to 1975. If you only want one car from this list to drive, that's the one, says McKeel Haggerty, CEO of Haggerty, the world's largest provider of collector vehicle insurance. This staple of British motoring history still has a verve. It can drive up to 150 miles per hour and brakes better than most of the cars of its era. By 1960, the new 3.8-liter engine was capable of pumping 256 bhp and was a perfect choice for the next generation of Jaguar sports car. Driven by a 2.4-liter XK engine from 1955, it produced only 120 bhp, but still proved to be a fast, long-legged cruiser when tested. Its market value is around $95,000 to $310,000. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to get updates on new videos. That's it from this video. We hope you liked it. The comment section is all yours. Do tell us your suggestion about next videos. Bye.